The night began like any other. Cold streets, long shadows, and a city breathing fear through every crack in its concrete veins. But then, something impossible happened over Gotham. A streak of emerald fire tore through the clouds, carving a wound of light across the sky. At that moment, Bruce Wayne, broken, bruised, still carrying the heartbeat of the alley where his childhood died, felt the world shift. The light wasn't falling. It was searching, and somehow, it had found him. For a brief instant, Bruce's instincts screamed. Guns, murder, fate. The past returned in a flash of terror he had long buried beneath discipline and rage. But this wasn't a nightmare. This was a summons. The emerald blaze crashed into the rooftop beside him. Heat, dust, silence. Then a whisper, soft as breath on glass. Bruce Wayne of Earth, you have the ability to overcome great fear. A green lantern ring floated before him, glowing like a miniature star. There were no choices, only destiny. And when the ring slid onto his finger, the world exploded into color. Bruce gasped as the universe unfolded inside his mind. Planets, wars, the core, the guardians, the code of will made into light. For the first time, he felt what true power was. Not strength, not wealth, not intellect, but the instinct to rise, to stand when everything else crumbles. A pulse of emerald energy surged outward. Where Batman once stood cloaked in shadow, now hovered a silhouette wrapped in light. Gotham looked up, and for the first time in decades, the city paused. Criminals held their breath. Inmates at Arkham pressed against bars. Even the Joker, hidden somewhere in the dark, began to laugh in delighted confusion. A new fear had arrived. Batman examined his hands as the glow shimmered across his gauntlets. The ring whispered its laws, no killing, no retreat, no fear. Bruce smirked. Good, he murmured. We're already in agreement, but power always brings a test. A scream echoed from downtown. A hostage situation. Multiple gunmen. Ticking clock. Batman moved. He didn't leap across rooftops. He didn't glide. He flew, emerald energy crackling behind him in silent fury. The moment he arrived, the criminals fired. Dozens of rounds filled the air like iron rain, and froze inches from him, suspended in a glowing sphere of will. He didn't even blink. With a thought, he formed his first construct, a shape he believed in more than anything. Not a weapon, not a shield, a symbol. A giant emerald bat spread its wings behind him, roaring with light as it surged forward, knocking the gunmen flat and disarming them in a single sweep. The hostages stared in awe. This wasn't Superman's warmth. This wasn't Flash's optimism. This was Batman's ruthless precision wrapped in cosmic fire. It took exactly 22 seconds to end the entire standoff. No injuries, no escapes, no fear. But as the last criminal fell, Batman felt the ring whisper again. Your will is strong, but your fear is stronger still. Bruce stiffened. Fear? His greatest enemy? No. Fear was a tool, a language he had mastered. Or so he believed. The ring pulsed. Images flooded his mind. His parents' faces, the gunshot, the alley, the blood. Trauma he had locked away for years surged like a rising ocean. The ring wasn't judging him. It was challenging him. The stronger the mind, the stronger the test. And Batman's mind was a battlefield. He clenched his fist, forcing the visions back. No, he growled. You don't control me. The ring hummed, almost amused. Power answered will. Light answered darkness. Then something shifted in the sky. A faint ripple. A warning. The Guardians had felt him. Every lantern in the galaxy had felt the spike of willpower. One Earthman had activated more energy in a single moment than most lanterns manage in a year. Whispers spread across sectors. A human is wielding the ring like a weapon. A human mind is bending constructs beyond projected thresholds. A human whose fear could eclipse entire worlds. The name that followed was known even among stars, Batman. And somewhere far beyond Earth, an old enemy of the core felt the disturbance. sensed the will, smelled the darkness hidden behind it. A single word left his lips. Interesting. The birth of a new lantern was never quiet. But the birth of one like him was a tremor felt across the universe. Tonight, Gotham saw something new. Not hope, not fear, but the moment an ordinary man touched impossible power. And the universe would never be the same again. The next days in Gotham changed everything. Not because crime disappeared, but because it hesitated. The city that once fed on darkness now looked up each night and saw an emerald silhouette cutting through the sky. For decades, criminals had feared the shadows. Now they feared the light. But power is never silent inside the mind of Bruce Wayne. The ring whispered constantly, not with words, but with truth. It revealed everything he kept buried under grit and discipline. Every construct he created reflected a piece of his soul. That terrified him. On the first night, he tried forming a simple barrier. Instead, the ring manifested an enormous green gravestone. The name Thomas Wayne engraved across it in glowing script. His heart froze. On the second night, he tried creating a weapon. A clean, sharp blade, something practical, efficient. But the ring conjured a massive revolver, floating in the air like a ghost from the alley of his youth. Bruce banished it instantly, jaw tightening. On the third night, he tried forming a symbol of justice, a simple construct of scales. But instead, the ring shaped a towering emerald monster, a giant bat with hollow, grieving eyes, the embodiment of fear itself. Every piece of him was visible now. Nothing was hidden. Nothing was safe. The ring didn't lie. It showed him everything he refused to show himself. And yet he pushed forward. Patrol after patrol, operation after operation. He learned how to blend the cold logic of the detective with the limitless potential of willpower. He formed constructs sharper than blades, faster than bullets, stronger than steel. He could be everywhere at once. Above alleys, within shadows, across rooftops. But something darker stirred beneath it all. Willpower might have chosen him, but fear still owned him. And that was when Hal Jordan arrived. The sky split with emerald thunder. From the clouds descended the most seasoned lantern in the Corps. Eyes narrowed, jaw set like stone. Bruce landed on a nearby rooftop, cape fluttering in the wind, ring glowing with quiet intensity. Hal, Bruce. Both men stared, each wearing a symbol of will, but only one of them had been trained to wield it. Hal crossed his arms. That ring wasn't meant for you. Give it back. Batman didn't blink. It chose me. It didn't choose you, it malfunctioned. Hal's ring lit up. You're too dangerous. You think too fast. You calculate too much. You don't trust anyone. Not even yourself. A lantern can't live like that. Bruce stepped forward, voice calm as steel. I don't need to live like a lantern. I just need to protect my city. Hal sighed, looking away. Bruce, the Corps knows. They're coming. The Guardians don't want you to keep that ring. Batman's jaw tightened. Let them try. In that moment, Hal realized it, the impossible. Batman wasn't wearing the ring for power. He was wearing it for responsibility. And that made him infinitely more dangerous. Before Hal could respond, a siren wailed in the distance. A signal explosion near Arkham. Bruce didn't hesitate. A massive emerald construct erupted behind him. A roaring bat with wings wide enough to dim the moon. Without another word, he launched into the sky, leaving Hal speechless. No lantern had ever created something so detailed on instinct alone. The willpower behind it was monstrous. At Arkham, chaos ruled. Joker had escaped, not by breaking out, but by walking out. All security systems disabled. All guards unconscious. The doors swinging open like an invitation. He stood alone in the courtyard, smiling up at the green comet streaking toward him. Oh, Batsy. Look at you. Joker laughed. Playing with magic jewelry now? How adorable. Batman descended, landing with earth-shaking force, the ring glowing fiercely. Joker. Back inside. Back inside? Why would I go in when you just became the world's funniest science experiment? Batman tightened his fist, but the ring reacted faster. Emerald chains shot out, wrapping around Joker instantly, binding him in glowing bonds. Joker blinked, then grinned wider. Look at you. Not darkness anymore. Just pure, shiny, righteous hypocrisy. Bruce didn't answer. He couldn't, because Joker's reflection shimmered inside the glowing chains. And in that warped image, Bruce saw himself. His eyes, his fear, his anger. The ring wasn't just giving him power. It was amplifying everything inside him, especially the parts he swore to control. And deep inside that glowing chain, Bruce saw something else. A pulse. A flare. A cold, inhuman presence watching through the will energy. Someone familiar with fear. Someone hungry for it. Someone not of Earth. Bruce staggered back as the chain flickered. The ring vibrated with warning. Hal arrived seconds later, landing beside him. What happened? Batman's eyes narrowed. Someone is watching me through the ring. Who? Bruce looked toward the stars as the chains dissolved and Joker collapsed laughing on the ground. His voice dropped to a whisper. Sinestro. Somewhere across the galaxy. The former Lantern smiled. Batman, he murmured. The only human whose fear could make me stronger. And with that, he began his journey toward Earth. The Dark Knight had touched the power of will. Now he would face the master of fear. The night Gotham turned yellow began in silence. No thunder, no warning, just a slow, unnatural dimming of the stars, as if something vast was swallowing their light. Batman felt it before he saw it. The air thickened. The ring tightened on his finger. A cold pressure slithered down his spine. Fear. Not his. Not Gotham's. Something older. Something trained. Something weaponized. A streak of golden light tore open the sky, painting the city in a sickly glow. The clouds twisted, reshaping into a symbol Batman instantly recognized. The yellow sigil of fear. Then came the voice. Smooth, confident, cruel. Bruce Wayne. The only man who ever made the green light tremble. Sinestro descended like a fallen star, golden armor reflecting the skyline. His boots touched the rooftop with regal certainty, as if Gotham itself were kneeling. Batman hovered above the edge, emerald aura flaring. Sinestro, the tyrant smiled. Impressive. You say my name with no hesitation. A shame your mind doesn't match your mouth. He lifted a hand. The yellow ring pulsed. Instantly, Batman felt it. The ring pulling at his thoughts, searching for cracks, hunting for fear. He didn't have to search long. A whisper erupted inside Bruce's skull. A gunshot, pearls breaking, blood on stone. A boy screaming in the dark. Sinestro walked closer, voice soft. Your fear is extraordinary, sharp, refined. You don't suppress it, you shape it. No wonder the green ring struggles to track your mind. Batman clenched his fists. Emerald flames erupted across his suit, burning away the phantom visions. Sinestro smirked. Oh, Bruce, you're powerful, but you're not trained. You're a mortal carrying divine fire, and you don't even know when it's burning you. Batman launched first. The sky detonated in green fire as he hurled a construct so massive it eclipsed the moon. A towering emerald gargoyle, jaws open, wings wide, fueled by pure will. Sinestro flicked his hand. A tiny spark of yellow light. The construct shattered like glass. Bruce barely dodged the explosion. Sinestro didn't move an inch. You fight with will, he said calmly. But your will is built on fear. And that makes you mine. Batman's pulse spiked. The ring vibrated violently, warning, resisting, struggling. But now Sinestro was inside him. Inside the memories. Inside the trauma. He whispered one sentence. You never became Batman to stop fear. You became him to hide from it. Bruce staggered, knees buckling. Sinestro raised his ring, yellow energy swirling like a serpent. He conjured a construct, a twisted version of the alley. The gun. The pearls. The shadows. Bruce's breath broke. He felt 10 years old again. Sinestro spread his arms. You are not a warrior of will. You are a monument to pain. But then a heartbeat. Soft. Steady. Defiant. It wasn't his parents. It wasn't Alfred. It wasn't the League. It was him. Bruce Wayne. The boy who fell. The man who stood. The ring pulsed, bright, fierce, burning emerald. A whisper echoed through his mind. You have the ability to overcome great fear. Not because he lacked fear, but because he faced it every night. Bruce rose slowly. Constructs shattered around him as he stepped forward, eyes blazing green. You're wrong, he said quietly. Fear didn't break me. It forged me. With a roar, Batman unleashed a surge of will so intense that the sky cracked in green lightning. The gargoyle reformed, bigger, sharper, alive with purpose, and slammed Sinestro into the clouds. The tyrant staggered, shocked. Impossible. A human wasn't supposed to break his influence. A human mind wasn't supposed to bend fear into strength. Sinestro hissed. Who are you to defy me? Batman floated upward, emerald armor glowing like a living star. I'm Batman. They collided midair, green and yellow spiraling across the city like battling suns. Sinestro formed monstrous constructs. Serpents of fear, blades of terror, phantoms from Bruce's past. Batman countered everyone with precision, with discipline, with will shaped by pain, not controlled by it. A giant yellow dragon lunged. Bruce answered with a construct of his father's silhouette, standing firm, unbreakable. A spear of fear shot forward. He blocked it with a glowing shield shaped like Martha's necklace, each pearl a spark of will. Sinestro screamed in frustration. Bruce whispered the truth. Fear only wins when you run from it. With that, he struck, a final punch of emerald force backed by everything he was, everything he endured, and everything he refused to surrender. Sinestro crashed into a collapsing rooftop, beaten, ring flickering weakly. Breathing hard, Batman landed over him. The yellow tyrant glared up. You don't deserve that ring, Sinestro spat. Maybe not, Bruce said softly. But I earned it. Sinestro growled, lifting himself with the last spark of yellow light. This is not over, Batman. Fear is eternal. Bruce activated his ring. Then I'll be waiting. With a scream of frustration and a burst of cracked golden light, Sinestro fled into the stars. Gotham fell silent. The sky glowed emerald again, and the Dark Knight stood victorious not because he had no fear, but because he owned it. Later, as he floated above the city, the ring whispered gently, You have mastered fear, not by erasing it, but by understanding it. The Guardians watched from afar. Hal Jordan, stunned, whispered, He did it. Batman closed his eyes, letting the night breathe around him. He had fought gods. He had fought monsters. Tonight he fought himself, and won. Below him, Gotham glimmered softly. No longer a city of fear, but a city held in the glow of green hope. Bruce exhaled. Time to get back to work. He soared through the sky, emerald cape blazing like a comet, the Dark Knight reborn as a warrior of will. A new legend forged in light and shadow, a new oath written in the heart of Gotham, and a reminder to every corner of the universe. Batman with a Green Lantern ring is something even fear must fear.